we are going to meet a very close friend, a great elected official, a very kind public servant. So it's a surprise for you all. Let's see who we're gonna meet today. Good morning and hello everybody. Today I'm honored to welcome Carol McCutcheon, the Mayor of Sugar Land. Mayor has been serving the community very strongly for decades, focusing on the growth, service, and bridging the gap between the community of Sugar Land. Hello Mayor, how are you today?
Doing great, Artaza. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you so much for having us today here. I know you're always busy. Thank you for giving us time from your busy schedule.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. I myself helped in your campaign, working on the streets and block walk, all that, right? What inspired you to come in the politics? And did you know ever you were gonna be a mayor one day of Sugar Land, beautiful city of Sugar Land?
That's a little bit of a long story, but my husband and I moved here to Sugar Land in 1993, and practically the day we moved in, I began volunteering in the community, first with my homeowners association, and I was chosen by council to serve on the Citizens Charter Review Commission. I was also serving on the city's Land Use Advisory Committee, and anytime the city wanted community engagement, I was there. I would sometimes speak at planning and zoning meetings and city council meetings, and when there were issues, I would call up different staff at the city and communicate. And I said I was very, very engaged with the community, but I had never thought of running for office. And then in 2017, my predecessor did not seek a re-election, and so it was an open seat. And people started saying, Carol, you should run. We want you to represent us.
Exactly.
And I thought, me? I've never thought about running. And it was a week before the filing deadline. And I thought about it and I said, wait a minute, everything that I've done for over 2 decades before this has really prepared me to serve, the city council. So I said, I've been serving the community, then this way I would be able to serve at a higher level.
Right.
So, like I said, a week before the deadline, I said, okay, I'm gonna run. And so I was elected, and then I served 4 terms as a district city council member.
4 terms?
4, yeah.
So each term is how many years?
Well, that's a little bit of a complicated story. Originally, when I got on council, it was going to be 4 2-year terms.
Okay.
Then we transitioned to 3 3-year terms. So I had 2 terms that were 2 years, and then I was in my second 3-year term when the mayor at the time was term limited. So I had to resign to run my current seat to run for mayor.
Okay.
And so then I was elected in June.
Wow, that's a huge risk that you don't know you're gonna win or lose.
It was a big risk. I had
Right.
2 years left of my term, and some people said, Carol, you're so important on council, we can't risk losing you. You can't run. But like I said, I was risking 2 years of serving as a city council member versus the opportunity to serve for 3, 6, or even 9 years as mayor and take the city to entirely new level.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things I said, if I don't do it, I'll always wonder what if.
The governor is the boss of the state. He's the one who runs the state, right? What is the role of a mayor of city? Is mayor has the same authority, same power to like the boss of the city, or you have multiple elected positions who run the city?
Okay, so we have what's called a city manager, city council form of government. So there's 7 of us on council. There's the mayor, then there are 4 council members who serve at large. So they each serve about 1/4 of the city.
Okay.
And then there are 2 council members who are called at large, and they represent the entire city. So together, the 7 of us comprise council.
Okay.
And we serve essentially as a board of directors. So with the city council, city manager form of government, then there is a city manager then who is in charge of the operations of the city. So I said we set the vision and the goals and approve the budget and tax rate, things like that. But then it's the city manager who's responsible for carrying out those day-to-day operations and supervising the approximately 950 employees that we have.
Wow, that's nice. Let's talk about your early journey when you were in college, you were in school. You remember anything you have took a part in any political activities? Where that thing come in you that, okay, one day I'm going to run for city council? Let's start from there.
Okay. Well, I've always taken on leadership roles. Even when I was little, like in elementary school, I was the editor and the chief for the school newspaper.
Okay.
And then I was in Girl Scouts, and so I was the president of the Girl Scout troop. And in college, I was president of some service organizations. And then after I graduated, I was president of the Women's Energy Network of Houston, which is a service organization. But so I said when I started in college, this has been many decades ago, in chemical engineering at the University of Tennessee, I was often the only woman in my class. And then I went into the oil and gas business, and then I would sometimes go offshore to supervise logging operations, and I would be the only woman on the entire drilling rig. And in fact, there was no place for me to even sleep. So I would have to put a cot out in the sick bay. That's the only place there was. So I've been used to being the first and sometimes the only in a number of different situations.
So Mayor, you are the first female mayor of Sugar Land.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it and this milestone? How do you see this on personal level and professional level?
Well, I'm really, really excited to be the first woman mayor of Sugar Land. And professionally, I'm retired, but personally, I feel like it's just really important for young women in particular to see women in a position of leadership.
What is the reason your campaign manager or your team members or even yourself did not say anything negative about your opponents?
Right. I had so many positives about myself that there was no need to even address anything about any other candidates. And I told my team, focus on me and me only in the race. And I knew that I had the knowledge, experience, and leadership skills needed to make a really good, strong mayor. And that's what I focused on.
Yeah, perfect. So I've heard that too in the beginning, that female mayor cannot be the mayor of Sugar Land because in the history, no female became mayor, So how do you feel about making a history itself?
I was really excited to be able to make history. And someone jokingly said at the very first, you've already made your legacy, now it's all downhill from there. And I just laughed. But Houston had a mayor many years ago, and we've had a governor of Texas who was a woman. And I was actually surprised that people had said that a woman couldn't be mayor of Sugar Land.
Yeah.
At this time, I think people were ready for change, a change of, I don't know, a change of maybe personality.
Yes. I know you for many years, and I know how you are capable. I know you're hardworking. I have seen you working from the ground, so I'm very proud of you. And this position is well deserved for you.
Thank you very much.
So my next question is, how do you see the people of Sugar Land? Like, you see there's diverse community out there, and recently we follow your social media, and we see you everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's a Hindu community, African American community, Muslim community, you're everywhere. How do you manage that time with the family and personal and professional?
It is quite a challenge. I don't get a lot of sleep, and I have a lot of energy, which is good, but I truly, truly love people. And we have a very diverse community here, and it's really important to me to be out in the community with different communities so people know that I represent them and that I care about them and that I'm there to listen to them, because people want to be heard. That's very important to me. So, I just truly, I said, love the people and love the different cultures that we have here.
Perfect. What is your long-term vision for Sugar Land as the mayor of Sugar Land? How do you see this city growing? As you know, this city is growing rapidly, diversity and all that. How do you see, what's your vision?
Well, I want to keep Sugar Land strong and vibrant, and it's important to keep the tax rate as low as possible while still providing a high level of services that our residents expect. And then right now, my primary focus is public safety, infrastructure, and mobility.
Okay. What do you say to those people who wants to move to Sugar Land and want to start some business, like a small business owners? What advice do you give them?
I'll just say Sugar Land is a great place to live and work and raise a family. And we have a strong economic development department here, and we have incentives for business. So Sugar Land is very business friendly. So I said, please come to Sugar Land. And small businesses are very important to us.
Perfect. And so, Mayor, tell me about this. How does Sugar Land City Police works? Does the chief of police works under you, or it's a position appointed by you, or how does it work?
The city manager hires the police chief, and then the police chief reports to an assistant city manager who has that role and several other roles beneath him, and then the assistant city manager reports to the city manager, and then of course the city manager ultimately reports to city council.
City council, perfect, Mayor. So my very last question, I always ask all of my elected officials, what advice do you want to give to our youth? Because I see, I've been like everywhere within the United States. Whenever I talk to the youth, they are very enthusiastic. They want to be in politics, they want to achieve goals, you know. So what advice you have for them if they want to serve the community?
That's a great question. I would tell them, dream big, set goals, work hard, and remember that nothing is outside your reach. And I would encourage them to be the first in their own way.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for sharing us your leadership, your experience, and thank you. You are inspiring a lot of people. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you for your kind words,
Yes, ma'am.
and thank you for coming by. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Always a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you.